Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Armed Forces Community Covenant Panel. I would just like to ask everyone on the screen, or I'll do apologies for absence first. Anybody got any apologies?
I got a couple, Chair, from Councillor Elliot King, Finola Pickwell, Victoria Williams and Steve Spill from the Health Board. Thank
you. And agenda item 2, disclosures of personal prejudicial interest. No one? Thank you. I'd just like to ask everyone in the room to, I'll go around the room, obviously this way, and for you to introduce yourself, because people on the screen don't know who you are, and vice versa, we'll do the other way, because it's people on the screen I don't know, I know everybody in the room. So.
Gareth Bosden from Democratic Services.
Spencer Martin, Lead Officer for Armed Forces, Swansea Council.
Phil Flower, Poppy Peel Manager, South Wales, and Chairman of the Royal British Legion and Royal Air Force Association in Swansea.
Clive Pryor, Poppy Appeal Manager for the Swansea District and Vice President, British Legion, Swansea.
We start with the
Russ Davis, Swansea Branch from Labour Straight Nation and Swansea.
The middle one, button. The red button.
There we are. Phil Jones, SOFIT.
Play that again, sorry.
The hand. Nobody's got it on, have they?
Here we are. Pressing the button, difficult. Hugh Williams, PASO 223 Squadron.
Marie Muldoon, Housing Options Manager.
Thank you all. I don't know which way to say, but I can't see the name on the bottom. What's the one on the bottom? Alan. I'll just say it.
Alan Leslie.
Alan Leslie. Was it Adrian?
Yeah.
Adrian, if you start off first, and then everybody will follow.
Sure. Hi, I'm Adrian Leslie. I'm the Campaigns and Policy Manager for the Royal British Legion in Wales.
Anyone?
Natalie.
Hello, I'm Michelle. Sorry, I'm the new service manager for Elaborate Wales Homes for Veterans in Swansea. And my colleague who's actually driving the car at the moment is Ellis Robinson, and he's the new housing support worker for Swansea's Wales Homes for Veterans.
Thank you. Next.
Ruth Birch, Operational Manager, Cymru Wales, for Fighting with Pride, the LGBT plus military charity.
Hello, I'll go next because I don't think there's any order because we're all on different points. Hello, I'm Natalie, Local Area Coordinator in Swansea Council. I'm also the Welfare Officer in the Royal Naval Association branch of Swansea, and I'm a fundraising officer for the Armed Forces Bikers Veterans Charity.
Hi, Simon Winsper from SCVS. I'm a development officer.
Thank you. Next one.
Hi, I'm Pat Dunmore. I'm from Citizens Advice, Swansea Nathport Talbot.
Hi, Neil Tomlin, Area Director for South of England and Wales RAF Benevolent Fund.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Dave Proctor, Cultural Services Special Events Manager for Swansea Council.
Good afternoon, Carlton Hughes, HMB Swansea, Reducing Reoffending Lead.
Good afternoon, Lieutenant Commander Andy Davis, HMS Cambria Ops Officer and OIC TOWIE.
Hi.
I'll go next.
Go on then.
Sorry, I'm Lance Young. I'm Armed Forces Engagement Officer for the Royal British Legion.
Hi, I'm Julian North. I work for Help for Heroes. I'm Head of Innovations and Programs. I also look after the Devolved Nations as well.
Thank you. Andy? Did Andy say?
Yeah.
Did he say? Right, who's left? I don't think there's anybody left, is there?
Good afternoon, Chair. Hi, everybody. Stephen Sullivan from Ferriad Chain Step Veteran Services Team.
I haven't spoken either. My name's Steve Boswell. I'm Regional Operations Support Manager for SAFA in Wales.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Chair. I think I'm last, hopefully. I'm Councillor Francesca O'Brien, just sitting in as an observer representing Mumbles Ward and member of Mumbles RBL. Thank you.
And Sophie Metcalf, Royal Navy Liaison Officer for the region. Thanks.
Thank you all. I think that's all. I think that was a big mistake on my behalf. But thank you for everyone. So I think people in the room now will know who's on screen and vice versa. So agenda item 3 is the minutes. I hope you've all read them. If you have, can you put a hand up? Oh, some good people in the room then. Thank you. So approve those. Agenda item 4 is Swansea Council Housing, Marie Muldoon, which I've asked Marie to come along to straighten up a few things with veterans and housing. Over to you.
The button. Okay. Hi everybody. Yeah, I'm Marie Muldoon. I manage Housing Options. So for anybody who isn't aware, Housing Options is the council's housing advice centre. We're based on High Street in Swansea. And we've got many strings to our bow, but our 2 main functions are assessing applications for social housing in line with the council's allocations policy and homeless prevention and assistance. Unfortunately, I come with bad news in that we're currently in a housing emergency due to the significant increase in the number of households who are approaching us for help. I've worked in housing now many years and can honestly say we've not seen anything like this, and the requests for housing are at the highest levels. It's important to say the Swansea are not alone in this at all. Those working in other local authority areas will have heard similar stories, not just from the 4 main city areas, but from all local authorities in Wales who are struggling with the demand. To give you some perspective, we currently have over 8,000 households registered on our council's housing waiting list, whereas 4 to 5 years ago, it would have been around 4,500 would be the normal sort of figure. Currently, we get about 3,000 waiting list applications every year. So that's people who are not homeless. That's people who may be living at home with their mum and dad, people in private rented who want some more security. And we're on course to take over 4,000 homeless applications this year, where in years gone by, 2.5 would have been the norm. So there's a number of different reasons for this, such as private rented charges increasing, private rented landlords leaving the market. We've had a reduced move within our own stock, so we haven't been able to house people off the waiting list as quick as we would like. And the Welsh Government's everyone in approach. But essentially, there's more people in our system than ever before. There's around 5-6 times the amount of households in temporary accommodation than we had before the pandemic, with the result that people are spending far longer in temporary accommodation, waiting for a suitable move into permanent accommodation. So what have we been doing? We've been buying back properties. We've increased our temporary accommodation provision, but ultimately we're allocating council accommodation to less than around 15% of the people who apply to us. And therefore we need to ensure the best use of our housing stock, that it's allocated to those who are most in need. So we're currently in the process of reviewing our allocations policy. That's currently out for public consultation. There's a questionnaire on our website, and it may be useful if Gareth, if you could share that with the group, but after. It's really important that you have your say. It's a chance for people to tell us what they think the council should consider when allocating council accommodation. So who should be in priority, who should have priority on our list. There's questions around how many offers of accommodation somebody should have, what type of property they might be able to register for, and how we assist people without a local connection to Swansea. So specifically in terms of veterans, households who are homeless and leaving the forces accommodation have historically always had the priority need for housing in Wales. So that means the council has a duty to provide temporary accommodation and would be prioritised on our waiting list for an allocation. However, under recent legislation changes implemented by Welsh Government, known as the Everyone In approach, now anyone who is at risk of rough sleeping will also have a priority need. So this means there's far more households in this priority need category, particularly of single people. Families have always been in priority need, but this change in legislation really did affect single people. So the local authority has a duty to accommodate a lot more people and has to prioritise more on their waiting list. So under our allocations policy, we've always awarded social need points to reflect a person's service in the forces when leaving the forces. So that means they have additional points on our waiting list, as well as any homeless points and any other points that they're entitled to. And also, if a person isn't homeless, we will take into account any welfare need they have for settled accommodation as a result of their service. So this takes into account issues around maybe PTSD, something like that, that could be affecting somebody's current accommodation, and shows why we need to prioritise them. I know that some of you support veterans in prison, and we've had quite a few inquiries lately with regard to the process for veterans leaving prison. So there is something known as the prisoner pathway. It's been in place since 2015, and it's followed by all criminal justice services as well as housing. Obviously, in 2015, it was implemented at a very different time, where it was hoped that an early referral from prison would mean that the local authority would be able to find that person accommodation in time for their release, avoiding any need for temporary accommodation such as bed and breakfast. So that's clearly a challenge for us right now because of the reasons I've given. But the pathway is still the process and is still the mechanism for us being informed of people who may be homeless on release coming out of prison. We've got a dedicated ex-offender resettlement officer based in Housing Options. And she works very closely with probation and prison staff so that we can plan. So the pathway states that around 12 weeks prior to somebody's release from prison, probation staff should forward the details to us, letting us know that somebody needs our help when they come out. So they will share details of that person's previous accommodation, what their offences are, what their support needs, what their medical needs are, everything really that we need to know to take into account to make sure that we're offering somewhere that's appropriate in terms of temporary accommodation and where to register somebody for permanent accommodation. If the person has no local connection to our area, we're unable to prioritise them on our waiting list. When they leave prison, we'll generally refer them to the area that they have a local connection. So ideally, the referral from prison should be made where that local connection is. Now, what is a local connection under the legislation? It is generally interpreted as living in an area for 6 out of the past 12 months. So if somebody's been in custody for some time, that's 6 out of the 12 months before they were in custody, or 3 out of the past 5 years prior to their sentence. They may have employment in an area, or they may have blood relatives in an area. So those are all the criteria that give somebody a local connection with an area. Of course, there's sometimes somebody might not want to go back to the area where they have a local connection, but that is something that can be considered by that local authority who owes that person a duty. They can consider placing them outside their own area, and they can ask another local authority for help. They can refer to another local authority. Historically, we have had low numbers of veterans applying to us. In the last 3 years, we estimate around 10 each year. Obviously, I know that not all veterans will declare their service, but these are the sort of numbers we anticipate are applying every year. I think it's fair to say that we are a very fair housing service. Some would say sometimes soft, and sometimes we will provide a service where other local authorities wouldn't. But obviously, as I've said, we're managing a very finite resource, and with the numbers being as high as they are, we will refer to another local connection, another area if there's a local connection there, so that we can prioritise those who do have a local connection with our area. So whilst there's significant pressures for social housing, we can assist people into private renters. So if somebody is at risk of homelessness, it is a challenge at the moment. Anybody looking at private rented rents out there are very high, but we will consider financial assistance to secure a property. So sometimes that will mean paying somebody's rent in advance for them. It will mean paying a cash bond. We've actually paid a double cash bond as well to secure a property. And with the pressures as they are, we are really considering anything to get somebody in somewhere. So we're considering now even paying the shortfall between the local housing allowance rate and what the rent is. So going up a little higher to get somebody in, because we're really struggling to find anything that's at the local housing allowance rate, certainly for one beds. That is going to change, and local housing allowance rate will be going up in April. So they'll be increasing by something like 11 to 16%, depending on the size of property somebody's after. So that will help. But yeah, that is like a broad overall of what our service is really for, what the pressures are at the moment and how we assist veterans. So I don't know if you've got any questions that you want more of these specific.
Thank you, Marie. It's just I wanted to, because I'm asked the question constantly, and also when I get a message or an email or anything letter off a veteran who's thanked me for getting him into, and I torture you, you know I torture you.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry for that, but I have to. But I just wanted everybody who's in the room and on screen to understand the pressures and of everything on not just veterans, but veterans will still be a priority.
Yes.
But they can't jump to the top of the list when you've got somebody that.
No.
But you will always give them somewhere. They won't, have a house or a flat. It will be temporary just to see them over and wouldn't be out on the street. And that I get lots of veterans contacting me about housing, but some of them are not. I mean, I can say an example here because nobody knows that right.
Online.
Yeah, I know, be careful. You got housing, you got somewhere, didn't want to go because it was the weekend. Well, that makes me look like an idiot, and it makes all the work you've done when I'm having a phone call at 6 o'clock at night to say that person didn't want to go because it was the weekend. What the heck is the weekend got to do with it? So if you want a home, you want a home. You can't pick and choose, but that's what I want. So has anybody got any questions for Marie? So everybody understands the way it is in Swansea, and I think we are a very good council, not because I'm a councillor, because we are, because I know I work with Marie, and as I said earlier, torture the life out of her, but and Sarah, so you can't do any more than you are already doing, and long may it continue, will you, helping veterans.
Thank you, Wendy.
Natalie?
Hello, Chair. Would you like me to monitor the chat online because you do have a question?
Yes, you can do that because I don't think Gareth's busy here as well, but he can.
Okay. Adrian Leslie has asked, does the Housing Department ask the question if someone served as a matter of course when people present at the department?
We don't ask it to everybody. So like I say, we get around 4,000 homeless applications a year and around 3,000 additional waiting list applications. But if you think that is something that we need to consider, please put that in completing the questionnaire that's online on what you think is important under our allocations policy. So Adrian, if you think that's important, please let us know, and we can consider that as part of the feedback then on the allocations.
If you could put your hand up if you've got a question, because it'd be far easier than putting it in the chat because I can't see it and Gareth's busy here. So thank you, Natalie, for the offer, but I think a hand up and asking a question, it will be much easier for everyone. Is there
Okay.
anybody else? Anyone else? No? Thank you. You can go and continue your busy work. On to agenda item number 5, Armed Forces Covenant Regional Project. Well, Finola is away for the day, and I think Gareth has some, and Spencer, if you want to.
Finola's given me a few points.
You're not on, Gareth.
Finola's given me a few points to share with the group, which I will pass to Gareth, and he will share the full document. There's currently one grant programme open with the Armed Forces Covenant Trust Fund. It's a major capitals grants programme funded by Veterans Capital Housing, which closes on the 17th of June. The Reducing Veterans Homeless Evaluation. It's been announced that Alma Economics are the evaluators of the Reducing Veteran and Homeless programme. Personnel leaving the military are to receive more support for finding jobs in civilian life, thanks to a new contract between the Ministry of Defence and Reed. I'm not sure who Reed are, but I assume there's some sort of partnership. King's College London are looking for real stories for an online gallery of images from the armed forces community. The details will be in what will be shared with Gareth. And LGBT Armed Forces Memorial. On the 19th of July 2023, the LGBT Veterans Independent Review was published, making a number of recommendations. Via this grant scheme, the OVA aims to deliver recommendation 17 to 19, which focuses on establishing a memorial at the National Memorial Arboretum. And I'll send that full document out with Gareth this afternoon.
Okay, thank you, Spencer. Ruth?
Yes, thank you. There were 49 recommendations that have now been accepted by the government, seeing as you've just sort of like mentioned that bit. There's also an application form online to apply for 14 of those reparations. And also as well, there's a box then to tick for the financial as well, just to let you know. If you want me to send that to you to get that out, then please, I can do that.
Yes, please, Ruth.
Thank you, Ruth. Anyone else? No?
No.
No. Gareth's got it on there.
No, that's it.
Agenda item 6 is update from the MOD. Who, please?
Andy, I'll go first, mate, and then if you want to do Royal Navy after. Good man. Okay, so again, Chair, I'll pass this over to Gareth so he can put it all in, so don't try and scribble it all down. So there's a lot happened since the last panel meeting, with the Remembrance Weekend taking place and all the Christmas activities that we were involved in. We've had a couple of significant events in relation to 100th birthday celebrations, where Lord Mayor of Swansea kindly allowed the use of Mansion House to say happy birthday to David Jones, ex-Royal Navy, World War II. We also held a church service for a lady named Kath, who was a former Bletchley Park operative up in St David's Church in Neath. And this is a shout out to all the charity organisations. If you've got anyone coming up with a significant milestone birthday, i.e. centenaries, because of the era that we're in at the moment, if you could let us know, we will then see how we can support those and do something special for them, because they are becoming a really small group now. But if you can let us know, we'll do what we can. Since returning off Christmas leave, things have got quite busy across the Army Reserve in Wales. And at the moment, we've got about 250 soldiers preparing to mobilise out across into Europe, either Germany or Poland, on a series of exercises that take place over the next 6 months. So that's quite a large mobilisation. Some only going out for 2 weeks, some going out for longer. But it's something that the boys and girls are getting involved with. Last week, the chair and myself and some others were fortunate enough to attend the Lord Lieutenant of West Glamorgan's award ceremony, where 19 service, cadet and charity personnel were commended for their hard work over the past 12 months. and it was a really good evening hosted by the Reserve Forces and Cadets Association. So that was a nice, and that's a thank you from myself there. Some things that we're looking forward to. So this year is the 80th anniversary of D-Day, with the service taking place in Christchurch, Swansea on the 9th of June. If there's any other events being planned, if we could be informed of those so that we can diarise them and we know that then there's no clashes, or we can make sure that appropriate uniformed service support is provided to look at out at those events. The Wales National Air Show and Armed Forces Day celebrations for Swansea will take place over the weekend of the 6th, 7th of July. We'll publicise details as and when we know them, because things are a little bit constrained at the moment due to budgets. I think that's the easiest way to put it. And the scale of assets available for this year's air show from an army perspective might be less than we had previously. We've had a really good uptake from civilian charities coming forward, and every time I get a civilian charity come to myself, I then pass it over to Spencer. And we just want to reiterate the point that we're looking at those charities that provide support to veterans and are not using the event to raise money or funds. If this is the principal aim of generating funds or money for your charity, you need to go via the Swansea Council Special Events team, and there's a different path to then get a place on the Swansea Air Show. I received an email in this morning. This is going to be to a niche bunch of people. So it's a request from the government of Kosovo. So this year, June, is the 25th anniversary of the liberation of Pristina and Kosovo. And they are looking for veterans who participated in Operation Agricola #1. So that is sort of the June-ish deployment in 1999. So that's where they're looking. If you want to go, they're not being very gracious, I have to admit it, because you've got to pay your own way there. They say that they might be able to give you a couple of nights in Pristina itself. But I'll ping this to you as well, and I'll attach it on, because there's a couple of email addresses just in case any veterans are interested in going over there to see what Kosovo looks like now. And then as a final reminder, we are here to help and support where we can. 223 Squadron has been working with Baglam Primary School over in Port Albert over the last sort of 4 or 5 months. And that little school there has now achieved the Silver Award for supporting service children in education, which is really good. The school gets £5,000 for achieving silver status. Okay, so it's a lot of money, and I'm just wondering, I don't know if anyone from SSC Cymru are online and they're going to highlight this. There's about 17 or 18 schools at the moment in Wales that are working towards these initiatives. Bronze is £1,000, silver is 5,000, and I don't know where gold is yet, because we've got none in our region at the moment that have reached a gold status. But part of that criteria is that they've got to engage with a local unit, and then we go into an assembly with them, do some activities with the children and the likes of. So, so that's why we're there. So if your little ones are in schools and you've got a connection with the military, perhaps you need to tell the school that there is this sort of resource out there and funding. Pending any questions, that's the Army side complete, Chair.
Thank you, Hugh. Any questions for Hugh? Anyone? No? Oh, well, you must have explained it really well.
Andy, over to you, mate.
Thank you, Hugh. How can I follow that? Okay, HMS Cambria and Towie Division. Hopefully, we're going to be exercising the freedom of Swansea this year on the 28th of September. That's going to be a good event, and look forward to getting all the maritime connections marching on that day. Details to follow, so please save the date if you can support. As you mentioned about Armed Forces Weekend, we'll be looking to support that as well. And I'm sure, Sophie, on completion of this, if you can give an update of naval assets that sits in your swim lane. And Towie Division, yeah, we are, numbers are small. We're recruiting from the same pool of numbers, but I have changed the training night from a Thursday to a Monday to try and increase interest. Again, it's not for everyone, but coming through the door, it might be the opportunity that someone wants to do on a part-time basis. Whilst here as well, I have another role with the Swansea Sea Cadets. I'm the chair for the committee. Bit of an advert really. The unit is a cracking facility for those that know where it is. If you don't know, please reach out and come and see us. It can be used for events and has been used, but we are self-funded charity, so we have to raise all money that we can to keep the unit open and also support training and courses for the cadets as well. For example, I had the planning department down recently, and she enlightened me that it's not just, it can be used for coffee mornings, yoga classes, other events. So there'll be a nominal charge. It won't be too expensive. And also looking at veteran hubs as well. I know there's various around the city and county of Swansea, but there's a few members on today. We've just started using the cadets on a second Tuesday of every month for the Royal Navy Association, which is being reinvigorated back in Swansea, and there's an event coming up to it towards the end of March. Will be covered later on. And then just one more, we said about a charity. We're on a summer ball. I know there's nothing much happening on the 29th of June in Swansea, but we've secured the facility in Morgan's to do an event there, which should be a good night. And I can share those details as well. Everyone is welcome to attend. That's it from me. Thank you, Councillor Lewis.
Thank you, Andy. Few of those events I will be coming to. And there will be something on the 29th of June because we will be at the Rotunda again. So, but your place is a great facility, and I enjoyed my time when I came down there. So keep up the good work. No questions? No.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. No. So we can't.
Not that I can see anyway.
No, we can't.
On behalf of the Air Force, I know that the RAF are doing some science, technology and engineering and mathematics a couple of days with a whole set of schools in partnership with the museums in Swansea in May. I know Wendy's planning on attending. They're very interesting days, and I think the schools absolutely love them. So just to let people know that the RAF are doing things in Swansea with local schools.
Yes, they are, and I attended last year the STEM one with the RAF in the camp, which was amazing, and I'm looking forward to it because I think it's the things that I was not good at in school that can be done with simple things around the home, which then make you think, oh yeah, I can understand that, what I couldn't understand when I was in school. So it is a very, very good STEM. So I'll be going to one of them. Has anybody got any cadet updates on the screen apart from Andy and? No. Sure. No. Okay. Thanks anyway. Okay. Agenda item 7 is Swansea Bay University Health Board Forum, and I don't think there's anybody here.
I've got apologies from Victoria and Steve, but Victoria has sent some information through which I'll send out with everything else after the meeting.
Thank you. Agenda item 8, supporting pupils with service family. Is Emma Reeves on here? No. Oh well, we can't do that then. I don't think is she? All right. Okay. Yasmin, yeah.
No, nobody online, sorry.
Okay, well, we'll be skipping that one then. 2. Agenda item 9. I got an update, but has anybody got any updates that they would want to Phil?
Yeah, just an update from the poppy peel side. I know Clive has done most of the work for the poppy peel in Swansea, but it looks like the City of Swansea, Mumbles, Ponadylais, Angus Signan have all reached targets increased from last year's poppy appeal, so that's really, really good. And I think one thing we learned as a branch was to involve the veterans groups, which was really successful. And that was supported by the Lord Mayor and yourself, with the opening ceremony being in the Brangwyn Hall. So I've put out a list of events there, and it's really important that we invest in the veterans based in Swansea, because it really did work well. And these events are open to all veterans and associations to attend. So I don't know if you've got anything to add to that, Clive.
Nothing major to add to that, except that the involvement of the Veterans Hub and other groups has been a great help this year. And we're hoping to start planning much earlier this year. So everyone's got a clearer idea of what's needed and what they can contribute.
Thank you both. I know it's a really important time of year that everybody, if they can help to sell poppies, it's amazing. I get tortured when I go to the market. I think they only want me there to bend down and get all the things that they can't reach. But it's amazing to see the people of Swansea are so generous with their money for the reasons we all agree with. I think it's amazing. Bill?
I know that the British Legion are looking at bringing out some celebratory or commemoration merchandise for D-Day, and we've already approached the Quadrant for hopefully a week's collection on behalf of the British Legion, and hopefully we can liaise with the veterans groups as well with that, to help them as well, not only to raise funds for the British Legion, but to advertise their particular veterans charity and what they bring to assist the veterans within the community.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone else?
Hello. Hello. I'd just like to let people know that we've currently got a vacancy for a single person in Bernard Street in Swansea. We're a Library Wales Homes for Veterans.
Can you say who's speaking? I don't think everybody can see you.
Sorry, we're trying to share a camera. we're from a Library Wales Homes for Veterans. We're both new members of staff. I'm the new senior manager for the service in Swansea, and this is my colleague who is the new housing support worker. And we have a single person's vacancy currently in our Bernard Street home for a veteran. If anybody knows somebody that they want to get on hold of us to send a referral in, be more than welcome to have a look at it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for sharing that. That's very good for anybody who needs somewhere to live at this minute. Thank you. Paul?
Hi, Paul from Veterans RV Swansea. Just like to say that our numbers have increased due to an article we did on Wales Online. It was highlighting the benefits of surfing and cold water dipping on mental health. We get together every weekend, so we're looking for more people to join us. Also, with regards to the surfing, we've had Simon Firth come down to us from Alabra, the charity that provides support for accommodation for veterans. He was looking to bring some people down to do some surfing with us, and it did happen this weekend. I believe there was six of them? There was about 6 of them down this weekend with us. They seemed to enjoy themselves. And then we had 8 people then dipping. On the dipping side of it, we're looking to run a minibus down to West Wales to the Blue Lagoon for veterans. We've had quite a few people who are interested in that, but we're looking for funding for the minibus at the moment. And last one, on a personal note, I've just completed 12 dips of Christmas. It was all in support of cancer. It was for cancer research. I'll be looking now for another charity that I can do the dipping for. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. It's amazing, the dipping, because it does help with mental health, but I still think you're all nuts. Phil?
Good afternoon, everyone. Phil Jones, SoFit. Just to follow on what Hugh mentioned there about the service children, we are still continuing to deliver mental health programmes to service children in schools. And if anyone needs any advice or support, or just to get in touch or get me in touch with their schools to support them with their funding applications, they haven't got to use our services. They can use any project they like. But obviously, as a gold award winner, it's our sort of our job really to help support other organisations achieve their awards, bronze, silver, gold, etc. Good news on the dip in front. So as of Friday, Spencer informed us, as in SoFit, that we have received some funding to facilitate a surfing trip and the cold water dip to the Blue Lagoon. So that will go ahead. At the moment, we're probably oversubscribed for it already, so it'll probably remain in-house. But I would like to try and get that extended to the wider veteran public if we can, obviously depending on funding and things like that. And that's it from us.
Beautiful. I've seen how you work with the young people. It's amazing. I wanted to join in when I saw him, but you know, he wouldn't let me. So no, it is amazing. I think you if you got the school children and there and nip it in the bud, and then they will progress and be telling other children, well, I've had help, and you know, and it is good. It really was, you know, the yoga especially.
Well, just to follow on with that, obviously Emma's not on the call, but if maybe we could have a chat after the meeting on an idea that I've got that we can actually reach out to service children in the Swansea region, that'd be great.
Thank you. Is there anyone else before I say something?
Yeah, hi, Calvin Hughes, HMB Swansea. Just a quick update from us. We attended a Veterans in Custody Forum in Birmingham. A lot going on up in that end of the country.
We can't hear you properly. Can you either go closer to your mic? We can't hear you in the room. Sorry.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's quite muffled. The sound is. Do you want to try again?
Is this any better?
Not really.
Okay, sorry about that. I'll put something in the chat.
All right, I'll allow you to do that because you did put your hand up. Okay, thank you. Perhaps if you come out, Spencer can read it out then when you've done it. Oh, just we'll add it to the circulation, so don't worry about it. Thank you very much. No one else? No. Because we are aiming for gold in Swansea Council, I would encourage everyone here to attend the Health Board Forum, which myself and Spencer attend. So if you're invited to attend it, it's quite important because we have to move forward with these things now. It's an MOD requirement that you attend. If anyone hasn't signed up to the MOD covenant, which I know some of you have, you could, shall I ask them to contact you? Contact Spencer. I don't want to ask without asking. To see if you are eligible, but you should be. So sign up because it's going forward. It's a MOD covenant requirement. So just contact Spencer, and if you feel that you want to move on with signing their covenant. But continue here, we will. But if you can try and attend the Health Board Forum, it's very good. I quite enjoy that. It's not boring. It's you know, different. It's obviously it's more on the health side of it, but it's important for veterans, and I think you all should be attending as veterans. Well, you probably not. That's what I mean. If you've had an invite, because it's very difficult because it's run by the Health Board. So, I could email or
Yeah, we let them know what it is. It's hosted on a regional basis, and that's what the MOD want. They want more regional covenant meetings rather than each local authority hosting their own. That's the reason why the MOD would prefer us to have the regional meeting rather than each local authority hosting littler ones.
I can send it in.
Yeah, okay, okay.
To the entire
Okay.
group, so.
Yeah, because I know they just have the people they got on there, so they're not going to do it wider. But if the MOD want everybody to join, and they want us to be the regional one, so everybody would join in this. But, you can see how many are joined.
But would it be worth Finola looking into this as well then, as the Armed Forces liaison officer? Because I'm sure she could.
Yeah, but I don't think
based and Neath Port Talbot.
She could, yeah, she could. It's just not, I suppose, it's more about the people that come here are affected more, aren't they? Because they have to.
Okay.
But they still be coming here because this would look, it's really confusing who, and it's confusing me, so I don't know, it's not confusing you lot. It's very confusing. Ruth, I saw a hand up.
Thank you very much. Yeah, you mentioned about different standards there. I'd like to remind all organisations there, please, about the Pride in Veterans standard. This is totally free to join, and it's run by Fighting with Pride. And you're able then to show the emblem that it is Pride in Veterans standard, and it shows that you've got an awareness of LGBT plus veterans. There are resources available. A lot of you are already doing this. I also need to mention that it was one of the recommendations of Lord Etherton that any organisations dealing with veterans need to have this kite mark. So I can send the details as well again to Gareth. I really would urge you to join. I'm very keen about this because Wales was in the lead, but I've just checked now and we're being pipped. So I'd like to get as many Welsh organisations signed up to this. The Welsh Government as well is very keen for this to happen as part of their LGBTQ action plan, because I'm part of the panel there for the veterans. So there's so many different reasons, but the important reason is that our veterans now are looking to see which organisations have actually got this kite mark, so they know that it's a safe space for them to approach people and know that they are going to be welcomed. So I can send all the details over about that. It's really easy to join, 5 minutes. And you also get the added bonus that I'm available as well as your personal guide through it all. So please do look at that. And yeah, let's get Wales back in the lead again.
Thank you, Ruth.
So please, if there's any questions on that, then please give me a shout. I'll send all the details to Gareth. But please, everybody that's here, if you joined the Pride in Veterans standard, that shows for Swansea the importance of that. You're on about your gold award to have this as well as part of Lord Etherton's recommendations. I really can't push it enough for you. And it's free. It's a bargain. So please join. Bearing in mind as well that February is LGBT History Month as well. So please, if you want to make that one of your goals, that would be fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. What's the word? I can't think of the word for you, but you're out there practicing what you preach. You're amazing. I think, yes, encourage everybody to do it. As a council, I think we have discussed that about doing it, so we'll discuss it again.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic because you're doing such great work. It just shows it then.
Yeah, but it's like it takes forever, Ruth, because we got to go through HR and it's not simple to do. So we will pursue it.
Thank you very much for your support, everybody. It's really appreciated.
It's okay, Ruth. Anybody got any questions for Ruth? No. Well, I think that's everything then. On the next meeting will be the 22nd of April at 2 p.m. Thank you all for attending, quite a lot here today on screen and in the room, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.